Happy Friday, everyone. Happy birthday, Mom. I hope you have an extra special day today, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this makes it a little bit extra special for you as well. So, before we get to the work set, let's talk about the warm-up. We're going to take down some plank to down dogs for 3 to 5 reps. Plank lean, 6 to 10, alternating. Forearm plank rock of 20 seconds, and a side plank reach through of 15 seconds per side. You're gonna hit that for 2 rounds, then you're gonna move into the bottom piece. We're just gonna work on warming up the legs a little bit, getting things all fired up. Calf raise for 30 seconds, single leg RDL for 3 aside, narrow squat hold of 10 to 20 seconds, and a skip of 20 to 30 seconds for 2 rounds. From there, we're gonna move into our work set, which is gonna consist of an on the minute for 12 minutes. Minute number 1, 50 double unders or the double under equivalent. Minute number 2, max rep dumbbell snatches. Oh yes, you can experiment with a little heavier loading here if you'd like, or depending on what you have access to, you can work on getting that nice smooth kind of flow with your work set, trying to keep those reps each round roughly about the same. But have some fun with this one, you guys. Work the skill of the double under or the variation that you have going on for today. It's a little bit of quick cardio in, and then rock that dumbbell snatch. Let's get you warmed up and ready for action. Let's get that body ready to go. Let's get those feet under the hips. We'll take the arms up overhead, big stretch. We'll reach over to one side. We'll come back up and over to the other side. Oh, big stretch. We're gonna scratch our back with both hands. Ribs are in. Let's reach the elbow up, pull it back down. Reach the other elbow up, pull it back down. Elbow up and back down, and elbow up and back down. Big stretch overhead, big reach, big reach, yeah, and all the way to the floor. Let's touch those toes, touch on those hammies. We'll come up, we'll come back down, frame of foot, step back into your lizard. Nice and square in those hips. We'll take the inside hand to the sky. We'll bend the elbow. We're going to reach straight ahead, pull back, straight ahead, pull back, straight ahead, and pull back. Big reach up, plant that hand, step back with that foot into that nice down dog position, setting those shoulders. We're going to walk those heels nice and gentle. Just going to wake up those feet a bit. We'll come back into our plank. Step the other foot up into that lizard, nice and square in those hips. Inside hand's going to reach up, bend the elbow, reach straight ahead, pull back, reach straight ahead, pull back, and straight ahead, and pull back. Big reach up, and bring the hand down. We'll step back. And that nice down dog, reaching those hips. Walk those heels. Nice and slow. Nice and steady. We'll come back into our plank. Nice and strong. Tiptoe those feet all the way up. We're gonna roll ourselves up. Big stretch. Little side bend. Little side bend. Good. Bring those hands down. Let's get you guys fired up. So pause the video if you want to take down any extra gentle warm-up. Cat-cow, thread the needle, scat push-ups, anything along those lines. We're going to come at you with a little bit of core and upper body focus. So let's get you guys ready to go. But if, like I say, want a little extra, pause that video, and then come back and join me for what's next. Okay, our first phase of warm-up is going to consist with that plank to down dog. So really just focusing on opening up that shoulder a little bit into that overhead position and that upper back. We're going to bring our hands just outside the shoulders. We're going to push the floor away, getting a little bit of engagement through that upper back. We're going to pull the ribs in just as we feel that engagement. We're going to maintain that strong shoulder position as we pull those hips back and up. Soft ankles, soft knees to get that maximum angle at the hip. And then keeping that shoulder in that strong position. We're going to push through the floor as we come into our plank. We'll draw the hips back and up again, reaching through those hips. And then once again, finding that good shoulder position as we come back into that plank. So again, when we focus on that shoulder position, we want to think about that nice active overhead position. Armpits forward, we have a neck. We're not crunched up here. We have that nice spacious shoulder girdle and set position. So really focusing on that shoulder position throughout this movement set, Don't rush into the down dog until you have those shoulders in a nice prime position. After that plank to down dog, we're going to stay in our plank. We're going to grip the floor, and we're going to get ourselves set up in that good strong plank again. Shoulders up to the sky, ribs in, and we're going to keep pushing the floor away as we lean to one side, and then keep pressing the floor away as we lean to the other side. So we're continually pressing through the ground as we shift side to side. Now keeping our shoulders over top of the hands, we want to make sure that we're not shifting back and forth as we move through that work set. Once we're done our plank leans, we're going to move into our forearm plank rock. So we're going to come down into this nice solid forearm plank. Elbow stacked underneath the shoulder. We're going to push through the arms. We're going to step our feet back into that nice solid plank position, pushing the floor away just like we would if we had our full plank in our hands, pulling the ribs in. Now from here, I want you to think about pulling your elbows to your toes. What's going to happen is it's going to pull your body forward. And you're going to push your body back. So your shoulders over top your elbows again. We pull the elbows to our toes, push back. So with this, we want to think about that drawing back. Even though the arm's not going to move, we want to think about pulling back so we get that good engagement through the side. Keeping our hips level as we shift forward and as we shift back. And now as we shift back, we just have to really fight for that flat body position as we move forward and back, and fight the urge to go up into that dolphin position. So challenging, take your time. These aren't meant to be fast. 20 seconds of just nice steady flow back and forth. Now our last little piece you can do on the forearms or on the hand. We're going to work a side plank reach through. So we're going to get ourselves set up in a nice solid side plank. Actively pushing through that shoulder so we're nice and strong. The other arm is going to reach up. We're going to take that arm up here and we're going to rotate through that upper body as we reach through, trying to get through as far as we can. And then we come back up into that nice T position. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. We can do this with a stacked foot. We can do it with a bladed foot for a little bit extra balance. But regardless of doing it with a stacked or bladed foot, our feet are not coming off the ground and we're not coming up onto the toes. We're staying on the side of our foot the entire time. Now the last way you can take this down is with the supported side plank. So we can get set up in our plank or our tabletop position. We step back, turn, and open to the supported side plank, and then same rules apply. We keep that foot flat on the side, and we come through, rotating with that upper arm, and we come back up. Always pressing down with this balancing arm, regardless of what option we choose. We want to make sure that that arm is active and pushing the floor away, just like if we were doing our normal plank or our forearm plank. We're pushing the floor away to keep that shoulder strong and engaged. As a quick recap, we have a plank to down dog for 3 to 5, plank lean 6 to 10 alternating reps, forearm plank rock 20 seconds, and then a side plank reach through of 15 seconds per side. We're going to hit that for 2 rounds, and then we're going to move into this next phase. So pause that video, get that ready. It's going to work on a lot of shoulder engagement, what we need prepped for what's to come. Our next phase is going to work on a calf raise. And the calf raise for us today can be loaded. It could be an eccentric off of a stair, so our foot heel goes below that stair angle. Just make sure you have something to hold on to for balance. Or it can just be nice and simple, plain foot on the floor, working on that good balance position. So what we want to focus on is we want to focus on our glutes and core being set and solid, so that when we push onto our feet are nice and balanced, weight equally distributed between the big toe and the pinky toe, and we're staying nice and balanced. So we want to make sure that as we do this, you can pause, you can take your time going down, you can work it relatively quick, depending on what you want to do. For myself, I tend to do a little slower descend or eccentric, so I tend to try and keep that controlled. But what we want to think about is keeping this midsection nice and tight, and we want to make sure that as we push up, we're staying square and not rolling to the outside, kind of rolling that ankle. So really take the time. If you can't get quite all the way up, staying balanced, just take it to where you can stay balanced between the pinky and the big toe. Build that control, and then slowly start to press a little bit more as you get stronger in that position. Now after that calf raise, we're gonna work a single leg RDL. And you can load this with a dumbbell to the front with 2 hands on the bell. You can load it to the kickstand leg, or you can load it to the balancing leg. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. None of those positions are any better or worse than the other. They're just a little bit different. So we want to make sure that we end up playing with all of them. We're playing with them at different times, but making sure we experience each one. From what I've found, from here and or the kickstand leg is probably the easiest to begin with in terms of keeping our body square, where this side where we hold on the working leg, sometimes we tend to tip over to that side a little bit more. So in the beginning, that double hand or kickstand leg is probably the best place for balance, but over time, start to experiment with all 3. Now the movement, regardless of how you hold the dumbbell, is the same. So I'm gonna get my foot set up in that kickstand. I'm gonna hold it to the leg of the kickstand leg. My hips are square, my shoulders are square. I'm gonna draw the hip back towards the back wall, bringing the dumbbell just below the knee or to the knee, and then I'm going to stand opening up the hips and knee. Draw the hips back, and then stand tall. So trying to keep that weight flat and kind of evenly distributed through the foot, so my whole foot is on the floor, but most of my weight is set through that midfoot where the laces are. Now, after those RDLs, 3 per side, I'm going to move into a narrow squat hold, and this is just to wake up those ankles, knees, and calves. So what we're looking at is a stance anywhere inside my regular squat stance. The rules apply, all the same squat points of performance are there. You're going to take those hips towards the heels, those knees will track the toe. We're going to try and keep that body nice and upright in that good back position, so we're not rounding out at the bottom. So again, drawing those hips down, we're going to hold that active position at the bottom, keeping the weight through the midfoot with those big toes down, and then when we come out of it, we're going to stand, shoulder and hip rising at the same time. So very important we're focused on those key points of performance to help build that squat that we've been trying to kind of finesse and groove, every day, every single day, because the squat's that important. So we always want to make sure we're building those good squat mechanics to help our other lifts as well. Now after that narrow squat hold of 10 to 20 seconds, we're going to move into a skip or a skip equivalent. Some of those options could imply a nice set of in-out hops. It could be some dumbbell step or skip overs or jump overs, or even some ankle pops. So if you're choosing to do the ankle pop, we're getting ourselves set up like we're holding a skipping rope. Our ribs are tight, our glutes are tight, we're nice and engaged, and we're gonna get that nice hop going on with that nice little impact work. So we're working on keeping our knees relaxed, our ankles relaxed, but our core and glutes engaged so we keep that midline nice and tall. Now if you're looking at that going, I don't really wanna work on a lot of impact, you can also work on the ankle pump. So it's the same thing, except you're not leaving the ground. So you're working on kind of a really elasticy, bouncy calf raise, but in that skipping position. So it's going to help build a little bit of elasticity in that foot so that we can work on that rebounding action, but not actually have to leave the ground and get that impact in the feet. So play around with some different options here. If you don't have access to a skipping rope or can't quite skip in your home, play around with those different options throughout the rounds. Make sure you're comfortable, see how it feels, challenge yourself, and make sure you're picking an option that's going to challenge you, but allow you to move that skill forward towards that good skip when you have access to a skipping rope. Now as a quick recap, we have a calf raise of 30 seconds, loaded or unloaded. Single leg RDL, 3 per side, loaded or unloaded. Narrow squat hold of 10 to 20 seconds, really focusing on that good squat position, those shoulders and hips raising at the same time as we come out. And then we have 20 to 30 seconds of skipping, or a skip equivalent. Having a hard time saying skip today, apparently. But we got 2 rounds of that. Pause the video, take that down, get those feet ready, get those legs ready. We're gonna come at you and talk to you about some movements, including the dumbbell snatch. We have made it to the work set. Here we go, a little practice round just to make sure you're comfortable with what's about to happen. You're comfortable with your skip equivalent or your skipping rope, you're happy with that, and you're ready to go with that dumbbell snatch. So with the dumbbell snatch, we haven't touched a dumbbell for the snatch yet in this work set. So what we're gonna talk about is just a couple things, and I'm gonna show you a complex that you could use in this work set. But first things first, the dumbbell snatch. We're gonna stand over top of that dumbbell so it cuts our foot in half. We're standing nice and tall. I'm gonna draw the hips back and down. I'm gonna take hold of that dumbbell, squaring up my body. I'm gonna push through those legs. I'm gonna drive into that nice strong extension. So as I push, I drive, elevating that dumbbell. I'm gonna pull myself underneath of that dumbbell, landing in a power position. From there, I'll switch sides, taking it down to where I feel comfortable, either the floor or somewhere below the knee. Then I'm gonna push through those legs, come back up, come back down, switch sides. So I'm gonna knock off just a couple reps at kind of speed, take it down. And come back down. Now the complex you can use to build this into your practice round is that complex we use often in our warm-ups. 1 deadlift, 1 sumo deadlift high pull, 1 snatch. And that's gonna help build that leg drive, leg and lower body engagement to get that dumbbell moving so we save our arms for our double unders or our double under option. So that sequence looks like so. I stand over top of the dumbbell, nice and tight set. I take it down, my chest is a little higher than a traditional deadlift. I deadlift to the hip, working on feeling those legs and hips open. I come down, I high pull, so I push through those legs, bringing that dumbbell to my sternum in that high and outside position. And then I take it back down, same back position. I push again, and land in that power position as I execute the full dumbbell snatch. Great little sequence to work on opening up that movement and warming it up piece by piece. So there's nothing wrong with using that in your practice round to get you ready for your dumbbell snatches. Now keeping in mind the part that we haven't talked about yet, we talk about this quite often, the dumbbell snatch is a sneaky little movement. It's very tiring, very gassing, and it's very easy to forget about position as we bring the dumbbell down. So we need to focus that attention on that good lowering portion of the dumbbell. So we're always putting the dumbbell down like we're gonna go right into our next rep. So even if you're done your set, you're always gonna put it down like you have 1 more rep to do. And that's gonna protect your back position and keep you moving really efficiently in that dumbbell snatch. So back position, super, super important. Don't worry about touching the dumbbell to the floor if you don't have that range comfortably yet. That's okay. Take it to your edge, so somewhere below your knee, I'm happy with. We want to make sure that back position is good and strong. So as a quick recap, we have an on the minute for 12 minutes. Minute number 1, 50 double unders or your double under equivalent. Check that workout description. I'll have some cool options for you guys down there. Minute number 2, max rep dumbbell snatch. So you're just gonna alternate back and forth for max reps, whatever you can put out in that minute. You need to stop, take a moment and rest. You have that full minute to take down what you can. Then you're gonna go right back into those double unders. If you have any time left over in that double under minute, you can rest and chill and get yourself prepped for that dumbbell snatch. Have fun with this workout, you guys. It's gonna be a nice little max effort attempt, little sprint work set in each minute. So have fun, work for quality, and Mom, have a fantastic and very, very happy birthday. I hope you enjoy. We love you, and we hope you enjoy your day. As always, work for quality, you guys. Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow for some more fun. Bye, you guys.